Hello and welcome once again to the Link to the Past Randomizer 2019 Fall Tournament on Speed Gaming. Tonight we have the second game between Trinexx and EmoSaru. Trinexx had won the first match. I believe Emo has selected standard mode for this evening. Hope you're comfortable where you are, because you're not going to want to miss any moment of this match. I'm Lumaga, your commentator, and with me in the booth tonight we have the talented and insightful Drossi. Drossi, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited for this second matchup. How about you?
I didn't get a chance to see the first one, but I can only imagine the skill level involved in it.
And we haven't seen too many standard runs yet in groups, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. It's also, generally interesting that the runners can change exactly one setting, and there are about half a dozen different settings they have a choice of which one to change. So, yeah, we've seen an interesting selection so far, and standard should be fun tonight.
Definitely. Now with standard, the item that comes on Uncle is going to be randomized, but it will be a weapon that they can use to beat the front of escape. Not going to be an assured sword, so they could wind up with something fancy like the fire rod, or they could wind up with something like bombs.
I'm really hoping it's not a bombs opening personally, but that's just me. Maybe Emo is, and she can do bombs incredibly and is trying to catch Trinexx off guard.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting selection to pick standard. I'm not sure what the advantage necessarily would be. Both runners are going to have to do the exact same, opening 5-6 minutes. I guess standard is kind of an execution matchup between the two runners. You can save a lot of time on that escape.
Yeah, well, and what's also fun with standard is those rare occasions when the mirror shows up really early. And then it's a question of, like, do the runners remember that they have the mirror so early and can just warp out of Zelda's cell?
Yeah, all things left up to the randomizer. Okay, runners should be going in just a few moments. Now, Drossi, you and I have seen some interesting matches in this tournament so far. Do you have any expectations of what might be kind of a trolley item or something that might trip these two runners up?
Well, I'm going to curse us all with this, but I haven't yet seen a troll ice rod so far in groups.
Then Ice Rod it shall be.
And the great thing about Ice Rod is the only places it can't be are Trinexx and anything behind Trinexx. It can be anywhere else in the game.
Yeah, good luck finding it. Yeah, as for me, I think I will go with a trolley bow this time.
Why did that soda have a skull on it?
I think Uncle is about to head to the doctor, and we are off. Runner's picking up a quarter heart piece in Link's house.
And we will soon see what Uncle has for us.
Well, it's guaranteed to be some kind of a weapon. Tonight, it's the bow. Well, that counts my trolley bow out.
Yeah. Commentator's reverse curse. It's not exactly commentator's blessing because he wanted it to be trolley. And an early lamp too, so
Yeah,
really
early lamp
no
is going
dark
to be good.
rooms. And we don't need to talk about how you get a free light cone in the back of Escape because they're getting a free light cone in the back of Escape. So for those of you unfamiliar with standard opening, this should take right about 6 minutes. Oh, and this must... Is this new that it fills you all the way up to 30 arrows if you get a bow opening, or did it always do that?
I believe it has always done that ever since maybe V29, maybe even earlier.
Okay, for some reason I had it in my head that it only gave you 10 with the bow.
Yeah, Uncle will, even if he gives you a weapon like Burna, he will at least give you full magic. So he'll give you full arrows, full bombs, and full magic, just so you can get through escape with not so much trouble.
And I know also if you have a Burner or Samaria, Burner or Fire Rod opening, and you die during escape, it'll refill your magic. So I'm assuming if you die here, it'll refill your arrows?
I couldn't say that for sure, and I'm not sure tonight's the night we're going to find that one out. So both runners, doing pretty much the same thing, heading off the ball and chain guard, rescuing Zelda, and picking up a big 20 out of her chest.
Well, Trinexx is down to... Oh. He grabbed a heart just to be safe. I was just about to say he was down to half a heart.
Yeah, you don't want to take a death anywhere in escape. You are going to be sorry for that one.
But yeah, so we have potentially 4 more chests that they'll be able to open and escape. Well, 5 including Sanctuary, but they need to get bombs if they want to be able to do the ones in back of escape. So the question is, can they find an enemy that drops bombs?
Yeah, I'm not sure what we've seen so far off the guards. I don't think we've seen a guard kill yet, so can't really tell the prize pack.
Yeah, and they're just not dropping anything so far.
They could get lucky and actually pick up some bombs in the Dark Cross chest.
Or a rope could drop some bombs.
Okay, both making it to the room with all of the ropes back here.
Well, they're dropping hearts and arrows.
It's a good thing they dropped those hearts, both of them taking a couple of hits here.
There's Emo's bomb, at least.
Yep.
Let's see if Trinexx can get one, too.
Yeah, both runners now have a bomb.
So I guess we'll be seeing the back of escape when the time comes.
Not always the worst thing in the world to not get a bomb, but man, if there's a key item in one of those 3 chests and you're hunting around the rest of the world for it, it just might take a little while for you to get back here.
I've seen that key item be the glove, and then you can't go back via the drop down because you have to go all the way through to get the glove.
Well, an early bottle. So that'll be good. Checking in on Sick Kid once they get to Kakariko Village.
And depending what weapons they find early on, the blue goo can be useful if they get like an early fire rod. Green goo, sorry.
I'm sure it all tastes disgusting.
You don't think the flavors are lime, blueberry, and cherry?
I could imagine if it's medicine, it's probably some pretty terrible flavors. So a little bit more hearts, a little bit more health coming out of the Sanctuary. So that's always nice.
It's like the meta sank heart because, hey, they got their fourth heart and a health refill. So it looks like Emo's gonna check Lumberjack while Trinexx is heading straight into Lost Woods.
Well, there's a nice tree pull, getting 8 bombs off of there.
Yeah, hopefully Trinexx does that too, or... Oh, yep, there we go. So no need to buy bombs in Kakariko.
That was a very quick check. I didn't really catch it.
Looked like a full heart. But yeah, overall, not too much of use so far. I mean, the lamp's nice and gives us a fire source if we need to go to like desert or Hera basement or something.
Well, 13 checks in Kakariko Village, 14 with the bottle, so unless the seed is going to be kind of mean, they should find something here.
Well, watch your
You would
counting
think.
because they need enough money for bottle merchant for that to be a check. Just as long as they don't have to farm rupees for Zora again.
Trinexx in just the room to do such a thing. Just finding some bombs and some rupees all around, nothing important yet in Blind's hut.
Yeah, the most interesting thing in there was Uncle's bomb supply, because that 10 bomb item was actually added to the randomizer just in case of a bomb opening from Uncle.
Well, in the
Ooh, hook shot.
well, there's a hookshot and a Bombos medallion and 50 more rupees.
Well, now we got money, we got the ability to stun enemies.
And a glove. So we have a lamp, a glove, and a hookshot. That opens up East Death Mountain.
That is true.
We haven't seen a map check, so we don't know quite the value in going up all the way to Death Mountain just yet, aside from some chests. We don't have a hammer or a mirror to get quite to Tower of Hera.
You know, it's funny, ever since we've gotten out of Escape, we've just been getting bombs, bombs, and more bombs.
Well, Trinexx did find a sword. So now in addition to stunning the enemies, they can kill them with a swingy stick. And here's our map check. Looked like, I believe Hera and Eastern were regular crystals, and we had a 5-6 on desert.
That sounds right. I didn't totally catch whether Hera was regular or 5-6, but...
Chat making mention of a red desert palace, and I'm sure our tracker will be on top of that also.
Yeah, so it looks like Hera was in fact a regular crystal. So if they can get to Hera, they have the ability to beat Hera.
Right, you're looking
Thanks.
for a book at this point.
Yeah, thanks to the bow and lamp, Eastern is fully in logic.
Well, they've got their choice of options here. They could go to Eastern, they could go to Death Mountain. Trinexx on his way to South Shore doing the dam checks.
Which gave him the all-important red meringue. But that early hookshot will be nice in mini Moldorm Cave here. But Trinexx decides to just go at them with his sword.
Yeah, the hookshot strats work a little bit faster if you're accurate with them, but if you miss, you waste a little bit of time on the recoil of that hookshot. There's a moon pearl in the back and a few pieces of heart, plus the
And
flippers.
flippers.
Yeah. So this seed's getting kind of generous early on here. We've got a lot of travel items. We've got the moon pearl.
What's on the island here? Flute! Whoa.
Whoa.
That's gonna be important. Possibly. We don't know whether Meyer's gonna be crystal or pendant. But it's good that both runners are finding this out now so they can keep their minds on that.
Yeah, I imagine that will be an early check once they get into the dark world and have the mirror with them. Quick high five while they're swimming across each other.
For the all-important Blue Bee.
The hobo's life savings.
Ooh, Trinexx is going straight to Zora area and not even checking Ice Cave. And Aga's dead.
Aga's dead. With that hammer, that gives him Dark World access.
We have killed Aga less than 14 minutes in. That is a true rarity.
Just some money up on Zora's ledge. So Trinexx, not having any more money to spend on Zora, is going to save and quit. I'm sure Emo is right behind him. So there are almost too many options for these runners. So we mentioned they have Eastern open, they have the Death Mountain area open, and now they have Dark World access.
Looks like Trinexx wants to see what's in Hype Cave, though we've found so many items, I'm guessing it's not going to be too hype.
It's going to be your standard Hype Cave.
In other words, a 0 or a 1.
Yeah. That's about the average these days. So Emo is going to do Sahasrara, and with the rest of the items she has, I'm sure Eastern is right after this.
Money, 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 bombs, heart.
Emo made the right choice here, getting the mirror and the Quake coin and 300 rupees from Sahasrara.
And we get a map check. There's a green pendant in Ice, other pendants in Mire and Eastern, and the other 5, 6 in Swamp.
So Ice Pod and Mire, all dungeons that are, you're kind of happy to see as pendants. You may not need to dip them at all.
Ironically, the flute is now in Logic, even though it might not be necessary to beat the seed.
Ooh, and they found 2 medallions. So one of those could lead right into Mire. There's our second bow off of Stumpy.
That's one of the earliest silvers I've ever seen. Especially in version 31 with the progressive bows. So let's see. Swamp is full clearable now. That flute might actually be our desert access because, well, we'll still need Titan's Mitts, but other than that, flute plus mirror plus Titan's Mitts gets us into desert.
Yeah, there are so many things open right now. I didn't even consider swamp. But with that hook shot, the hammer, the mirror, the flippers.
Yeah, it's not often that, like, full clearing swamp 15 minutes in is even a possibility, and I don't think the runners are in any rush to do it.
No,
Ooh,
no,
fetch
probably
quest
not.
in Eastern.
So we'll get a Death Mountain check. Trinexx taking the old man up. Having that hook shot can go all the way across to Paradox Cave.
So all we need at this point, potentially, are Titan's Mitts, 2 rods, and the Cane of Samaria. Desert might be boots locked, and maybe Turtle Rock requires ether, but the fact that I can narrow it down to that few items this early in the seed, it could be a jet seed.
Yeah, this is screaming Jet Seed, or it's screaming, go find the ice rod in the entire world I just opened up for you. But those are very few items to be able to count this early in. We're not even 19 minutes into the seed.
Oh, and of course we'll need at least one more sword upgrade. But those tend to just kind of turn up. Nothing much in Paradox Cave.
I think this is where we're going to see things slow down a little bit.
Yeah, Paradox was about as much of a bust as Hype Cave. And EmoSaru is on our first boss less than 20 minutes in.
Gets the quick kill. First blood at 19 minutes, 40 some seconds.
Wonder where she's gonna go now. She has that mirror, so if I were her, I'd probably get the flute now just so I can move around quickly. Okay, one item in Tower of Hera is useless.
Now Trinexx looks like he's going to set up for the Hera pot. He's got the hook shot, has some bombs, so he's going to blast himself over and hook into this pot to get up 2 more floors.
I've never seen a runner use a double bomb like that to do the pot clip.
Yeah, finding that big key in the lobby of Hera, it was actually really safe to do that. So there's our second item. Each is flying through Hera, not having to do the basement, not having to make a climb up a few flights of stairs.
Yeah, even if the items were useless, at least they were conveniently placed.
All right, pulling out the hammer To give a couple of quick smashes to Moldorm's tail. A little bit better to use than the fighter sword. Gets him
That
down
was
very quick.
yeah, that final smash was pretty nice as Moldorm like turned around.
As expected, EmoSaru got her flute.
Trinexx checking a lot of rupees on Spectacle Rock. But now that he's going around this way, it's going to be hard to do Spiral Cave, and in fact, he's saving and quitting out.
That's right, he did not go down to do Spiral Cave.
And the fowl's on the prowl.
Goose is loose. All the other funny little duck and bird memes you want to make. Trinexx looks like he's going to head to the Dark World now. And Emo going right on with him.
They're pretty synchronized, even. I mean, they can certainly full clear Thieves, and they'll probably do the front of Skull Woods.
Kind of neat. They both went in wildly different places. Eastern and Hera, and here they are, winding up in Skull Woods at the same time.
But with somewhat different inventories, overall, Emo's gotten a lot more items, though Trinexx does have those nice silvers, which could come in handy on some of the bosses.
Oh, and there's our Fire Rod, French Vanilla Fire Rod. So that means
there's another dungeon we can beat.
Yeah, Skull Woods, fully completable. Now, EmoSaru went to the back first. Trinexx checked the first chest in the front of Skull Woods, so not finding anything in the front, she's going to backtrack and then possibly go get it.
Yeah, and Trinexx is basically figuring, well, I have to do the back anyway, so I'll see if the second item's there, and then I don't have to do the rest of the front. EmoSaru, on the other hand, having found that fire rod, figures, well, I'm in the front anyway, I'll finish looting it and hope the second item's here.
Now, you never know. Could be a little bit of a time saver, not having to come back here. All dependent on what's in the back.
Ooh, she takes a death, and I don't think that was intentional. Just a reminder that this is Game 2 in a best of 3. If EmoSaru wins this, she forces Game 3. If Trinexx wins this, he will go on to the winner's bracket next week and be one more set away from advancing to brackets, while Emo would go on to the loser's bracket and have to win each of the following 2 weeks to go to brackets.
Hammer's going to save the day here. So Trinexx pulling out the hammer, only having green mail and a fighter sword, so could potentially have been a tough moth fight, but with the hammer, he gets a few swings and crushes that bug.
And gets the blue mail, which is our second item, so Emo's not going to find anything here. And it also saves Trinexx having to check that other chest and back.
Now she's not going to go all the way back.
Does she not realize she has the fire rod?
She also realizes maybe that she has the green mail and a fighter sword, so might want to get a little bit more health or some more equipment first. That's just conjecture.
Yeah, I guess Trinexx has a couple of extra hearts. Yeah, I just double checked her own feed just to make sure she did mark fire rod on her tracker, and she did, so.
Now, Thieves Town is a little bit more forgiving. It's also fully clearable. She may do this first and then head right back in, assuming she finds maybe another heart container, maybe a better sword.
Thieves Town also has more items. There are 4 of them scattered throughout. Emo is almost at Zora money for whatever that's worth. And with the flute, she can just flute to 8 and check Ice Cave and Zora at her leisure.
Yeah, that's right. Neither runner has made their way up all the way to Zora, not having any money, and both of them skipped Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, and chat's saying that Cane of Samaria was on Bumper Ledge. I totally missed that, but chat's saying it, so I'll believe them.
Chat would never lie to you, right, Drosy?
They're mischievous like that.
I have full faith in chat not to lead us astray. Maybe that's a mistake. Well, speaking of canes...
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah. Well, there's the blue one.
It's always fun to do blind with blue cane strats.
Yeah, that almost makes blind free. Give a couple swings and then put your cane on.
So that was 3 items in the front, right? So we're only going to see 1 item in the back.
It was definitely at least 2. There was 5 rupees, blue cane,
and a big
not
20.
Sure what the third was, and a big 20. So that was 3.
Well, if we get an item here, Emo could safely ignore the big chest even if she gets... Well, she wouldn't even check Blindette's chest at that point. Oh. Nope, gotta check Blindette's chest.
Yeah, now if that maiden chest is an item, then we know that the key is locked in the big chest itself.
But at least they got that nice early hammer, so there isn't that agonizing, oh, I've orphaned the Thieves Town big chest.
So still looking for one item. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say I hope Emo goes back soon and... Ooh, Blind has the last item. No, that Emo goes back soon and beats Moth because... Given how few hearts she has and how relatively health-starved she's been lately, that blue mail will be very helpful.
Definitely. So it gets a couple of hearts here from the jail cells, and pretty well equipped to take on Blind, especially with that cane.
Retrievers love fetch quests. And Emo's not even gonna bother with blue cane strats.
Nope, little off script, but gets Blind down. And gets a glove, or a Titan's mitt for that.
Nice French vanilla Titan's mitts to go with the French vanilla fire rod.
So with those mitts, and with the flute that she picked up, you could take on Desert, and you could take a peek at the Mire area too.
But looks like she wants to do Smith Chain Shovel Check, which makes total sense. Well, I mean dig game, not shovel check.
It's still a shovel. I'll give you that one.
And a very fast dig game at that.
Just a couple of digs, turns her nose up at the quarter of a heart piece. Trinexx has already done this, so he's going to take the smith back to his shop.
Oh, right, but Trinexx does not have the mirror, so he has to give Jeremiah the world tour.
No, that mirror coming from the back is a hospitalist hut. He has not been over to the eastern area yet.
Interesting that Emo's coming down here without doing the Smith Chain.
Yeah, actually, with that mirror in hand, it would have been natural for her to do that, but gonna flute away.
Yeah, and I mean, Hammer Pegs is a bit slow just because you don't have the boots, but still, there's Smith, there's Hammer Pegs, there's Purple Chest.
Smith with just some explosives today.
Well, it's okay, Emo's about to get a whole lot of nothing on Death Mountain.
That's right. Paradox Cave, pretty empty. She may actually check Spiral Cave. And with the mitts, she has a chance to check Dark Death Mountain too.
That is true, and with the mirror, she can just go up this side, do Hera, and then come down the other side.
Yeah, so this trip up to Death Mountain actually works out a little bit better for her, having a couple of items for a bit more exploration. Trinexx came up here earlier, didn't have the mitts nor the mirror, so he can only do some limited checks here.
Meanwhile, Trinexx is about to get his mirror, which is good because given the huge number of items, we weren't sure if he'd make it over here anytime soon, so it's good that he is.
Now, interesting. So, EmoSaru's able to do a few other checks here in Death Mountain area on her trip up here. Trinexx is actually able to do all of Pod while he's over here.
Well, he'd have to go down to the portal and then come back up.
That's true. And actually, I was actually a little bit surprised he didn't do that first, then being able to mirror over. Although Pod is a pendant, so probably not as high on his priority.
Yeah, I'd sooner go into Crystal Swamp than Pendant Pod. Yeah, so really, we need to go into Desert to see if its boot's locked. We need to find out what the Turtle Rock Medallion is, which I imagine EmoSaru will find out for us while she's up here on Death Mountain. And we need the cape to get the cane, and we need the ice rod.
Yeah, very few items we need left. At the same time, there's still quite a things open. So we've got Swamp Palace fully clearable. We have Ice Palace fully clearable too.
Let us not speak of such things.
Hey, you're the one who said Ice Rod would be a troll item. So just trying to hold you to that.
Well, it is one of the few items we need for Go Mode that we haven't gotten yet.
Another quick smash to the tail on Emo's side, and Moldorm is down.
So, and for other places to go, let's not forget that we also have Zora, Witch, and Ice Cave, all on the east side of Light World. Oh, so Emo's gonna flat out see if she can open Turtle Rock and get it out of the way.
Yeah, just do a little bit of actions you'll have to do eventually anyway, and also open up this portal instead of having to go all the way down to Super Bunny. Or through Super Bunny, rather. So it's Mamos, she can open it. Can't get very far, though.
And with hints off, there is 0 point in even entering. That is not one of the toggles that's allowed for the loser to pick for Game 2. Though given these runners, I doubt any of them would pick that as a toggle. Except just to troll their opponent.
Yeah, hints are kind of a contentious topic. They did offer some additional intrigue to the game, but there are some different options here which would throw your opponent off, maybe.
If you blinked, you missed those Armos Knights with the Silver Arrow. And Emo gets our Master Sword.
Yeah, those silvers will take down Armos like that. Trinexx putting that on display. And there, yeah, that's our sword that we'll need. You mentioned a sword upgrade necessary earlier. Nice quick hook shot. There's our third sword, too.
Well, it's gonna be a nice, easy Ganon fight. And now Emo will finally tell us what's in Spiral Cave. And it looks like Trinexx is going to pick up his flute.
Now, one other thing up on Death Mountain here is Spike Cave in Logic. They have a Cane of Burna. They have the hammer and, of course, everything in Dark World to get to Dark World. But is Spike Cave in Logic?
Yep, you just need Hammer and Cane of Burner to put it in Logic. And Emo finds our second bottle in Spike Cave, Spiral Cave, so nice to have, but didn't really progress anything. Yeah, the full rule for Spike Cave logic is hammer plus either Burna or cape with some magic extension, whether a bottle or half magic.
Now I like this routing. She went down through Spike Cave or Spiral Cave, and is able to come back up through Paradox Cave. She's probably also realized that Spike Cave isn't logic.
Oh yes, and our tracker Link Force pointing out that you also need gloves because it would be a shame to go through Spike Cave and then not be able to lift that block at the end to get to the treasure chest.
You gotta wonder if anyone's ever actually done that. I'm sure it's possible.
And Trinexx giving us our first look at the mire area. Wonder if Mire's in play or is it ether?
It's too quick for me.
Me too.
The ledge only having some rupees, desert ledge. Our third bottle and a heart container in the mire shed.
Well, we haven't seen everyone's favorite desert sage yet.
Yep, their first trip to the desert. There's actually a lot they can do. Trinexx heading into the checkerboard cave just to see some sticks in the corner. Chat telling us that it was a quake misery mire.
Yeah, I think EmoSaru gave us a little bit better view of that. Trinexx, I guess, wants to steal the key from the back of desert. Interesting.
Well, it's worked before. We'll see what happens. But it might backfire. You could have the big key, up on the torch or something, not be able to go anywhere.
Well, at least he'll pass by the torch room before he gets to the locked door, so he'll find that out. Ooh.
So we are boots locked.
By logic, but we could beat Desert by stealing that key. But then we won't know what's on the right side.
Yeah, picking up that big key, Trinexx is just going to take it.
And he didn't even want to see what was in the big chest, which is a bit surprising. No reason not to check that big chest.
Right, you haven't even seen one item yet. Emo going to give us the insight into what's in the chest. Just a big 20.
But it does give us one item, so... Oh, and Emo is not going to take the key and do the back. But it also means that if you get that item, take the key, do the back, Lanmo has the second item, then you know that you didn't miss anything by stealing that key, even if you're out of logic.
Right, could be map compass over on the key locked side. Well, she does know she'll get boots eventually. I'm sure she'll be back as soon as she gets those.
I don't know, Boots could be hiding out in a pendant dungeon. And there is an item on the right side there.
Yep, there is an item still back there. And at the path Emo is taking, I think she might be going into Swamp.
Seems totally reasonable. Wouldn't surprise me if Trinexx goes there too, after checking Agena.
Right, 6 items, fully clearable.
Yeah, just responding to chat. Boots are logically required for desert with a small key on the torch because otherwise you could steal that small key from the back, use it to open the door in the front, and then you can't finish desert without the boots. Oh, so Trinexx is now climbing Death Mountain for the second time to do Spiral Cave and Dark Death Mountain. I was just trying to remember what we found up here, and then I remembered he'll get 2 sword upgrades, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, 2 swords, a bottle in Spike Cave if he chooses to do so. I'm sorry, not Spike Cave, Spiral Cave.
I made the same mistake.
Yeah, they both start with S.
SPI even.
Now, Trinexx has done the desert, which was a 5-6, and Swamp is also fully clearable and is a 5-6. If he goes there, you could see a pyramid fairy check pretty soon too. Although that would be out of logic until he gets boots.
Right, so that could be kind of interesting. Though with the break in logic, if, for example, Cape is in Pyramid Fairy, that would tell us something about where the boots can't be.
Mm-hmm.
Emo not bothering with left side swamp for the time being. Though, we got a dungeon item, though, so we know there has to be at least one item on left side, right?
I believe so. I thought we got the map. But no big key just yet, so she knows that if she gets the big key, maybe in the back here, she's going to have to come back anyway, and we'll do left side then.
Well, there's our alternative access to desert, and that also gives us a couple of tablets to check.
And actually, when Emo goes back to Skull Woods, could mirror over and give us a ped check.
Also true. I suppose boots could be on ped. Or ice rod.
Yeah, so the things that can't be on ped, you can't have cane. And
well, we know Kane's on bumper ledge, but because of that,
right.
You can't have Cape on ped because Cape locks Kane.
Cape would lock Kane. Yeah, Kane can't be in 2 places at once.
And just takes a single shot with a silver arrow to finish off Argus there.
Our other boomerang
So we did not see the big key, did we?
No, so big key is on left side, or it's in the chest itself.
Always funny how Swamp and Skull Woods are the only two dungeons where you don't need the big key for anything other than the big chest, so it can be locked in its own chest.
Trinexx just made his way into Swamp Palace as well. So having that 5-6 after this dungeon, I'm sure Pyramid is in his sights.
Yeah, especially since it's so close by. Though he could also walk over to Bombos.
Okay, so Emo gonna get these two chests. One of them may have the big key, one of them might not. Both of them might not.
The moment of reckoning draws nigh.
Some powder.
Well, that opens up Magic Bat.
And that key is locked away in its own chest. What a cruel fate. And that book she found in the sunken chest in Swamp Palace, she's going to use that to go check the Bombos tablet.
And then maybe after that she'll do the full Smith chain because she now has Smith, Hammer Pegs, Magic Bat, and Purple Chest. So that's 4 checks right there. Ooh, there's our other mail upgrade.
Yeah, the other mail upgrade. The first one was on Mothula, which Emo has access to, but decided against it. She's much better equipped this time around. I gotta believe she's thinking about that one too.
Looks like... Well, either she's going to do the Smith chain, or she's going to finish off Mothula and check Ped, or maybe both.
Yeah, Tempered Sword, Flute Mail. I'm sure she's much more comfortable in this. But she's going back into the Village of Outcasts.
We also have Graveyard Ledge annoyingly out of the way and isolated.
Yeah, that's one that a lot of runners will try and route in with, maybe the King's Tomb check, maybe Bonk Rocks, but no boots, so it is all by itself. Kind of a pain to get out there.
Trinexx decided to use Fire Rod strats on Argus, which, since he couldn't get off 2 Fire Rod shots and a spin at once... Whoa, Emo did not want the shovel? Okay. Emo realizes that shovel could be important.
Yeah, not often you'll go out of your way to grab a shovel. Normally it's just forced upon you in a chest, but yeah, gonna want that. Maybe the ice rod's down there. Maybe the cape is down there.
You certainly don't want to orphan the shovel spot.
Now she's got that powder too. She could very easily check the magic bat while she's here. Pulling out the hammer, she's going to dive into the well.
And Trinexx is going to left side now, where he will pick up his powder.
Alright, angers the magic bat with the powder. And today, EmoSaru is cursed with a couple of bombs. Yeah, she's got all the fetch quest items, so magic bat was nothing. She has the shovel, which is conveniently on her way with this purple chest. And she's got the mushroom for later, too.
Where's she going with that purple chest? Oh, leaving a portal there so she can flute back to it, presumably because she wants to finish Skull Woods afterwards.
Oh, that's a good strategy. That's a good thing to do. Yeah, pretty clever.
Meanwhile, Trinexx picks up that powder and realizes he put the switch in the wrong position to check the final chest. Worse yet, he's going to go back, flip the switch, and then discover the chest was junk.
Yeah. That's gonna sting a bit.
And that'll give Emo the time she needs to finish off Moth. I'd say at this point she has the lead, even if she hasn't finished Desert. But it's still anyone's game until we know where those final two key items are.
Yep, now between the two runners, we know we're out of crystal dungeons to check. We're gonna have to start diving into some pendant dungeons.
Or else exhaust all our overworld checks.
Yeah,
We
those
have
are
Shovel,
quickly drying up too.
Yeah, Shovel, Spike Cave, Graveyard Ledge, Mushroom, Zora, Ice Cave. Am I missing anything?
Those are the ones I'm
Head,
thinking.
obviously.
And pedestal.
Oh, Catfish, thank you, Psycho Snyder.
Yeah, got to be kind of nimble to avoid all of those spikes in Mothula. Not a problem for EmoSaru this time around with all the hearts and a tempered sword. Gets her next crystal.
And her red mail. Oh yeah, and we haven't even seen Pyramid. Trinexx will presumably check that now.
While he's checking that, EmoSaru is going to check our pedestal.
Pyramid's just bombs.
And Ped, just a little piece of love.
And Pyramid Fairy, just another bottle and arrows. So yeah, we're down to about half a dozen overworld checks before we have to start Diving ped dungeons. Oh, and Trinexx is going to show us Mushroom. While EmoSaru shows us our other remaining fetch quest. And the exact same reward for each. How about that? Meanwhile, looks like Trinexx is either going to do the remainder of Smith Chain or check Pedestal. And from that direction, I'm guessing Smith Chain.
Well, here comes Flute to 5. That means Palace of Darkness.
Hoo boy.
Out of all the remaining options, this is probably the one with the biggest value. It has 5 chests in it, and ice is kind of a slog to get through.
Yeah, I was going to say, on the one hand, 5 items. On the other hand, most of them are in the back.
Right. So a question in chat, has Emo not done Desert yet? Desert is actually boots locked. Trinexx had stolen a key from the back and didn't use it, but he did get the big key and used the key from the back to go straight back to Landless.
But I imagine if EmoSaru finds that cape and that ice rod, she'll then steal the key and be in go mode rather than continue to look for the boots.
Oh yeah, I think in the back of every runner's mind at this level of play in this tournament, they know that that is there. They just, it's not a play you normally make, so it's not one that's readily like kind of on your tool belt, you know.
Right, and as long as she's not in go mode anyway, it doesn't hurt to keep checking for things. And hey, if you dig up the boots, you get that remaining item in Desert on the right side. Well, there's the third of the minimum 4 small keys that need to be in the front of pod. So theoretically, we could have 2 items on Bowlocked side today.
We could. That 4th key could be in the vanilla big key chest.
She already checked the vanilla big key chest.
Oh,
That was
I'm
where
sorry.
she got the third small
right.
key.
You're right.
Right, the only question is, might she find a 5th or even 6th key up front, and then there are even more items in the back?
Yeah, this dungeon is just filled with riches, so it never hurts to at least check it out.
And we haven't seen the map or the compass, so there's some chance that Helmasaur has it, in which case she could collect all the items and not bother with Helma, since she knows Helma's not worth anything for the pendant. And Trinexx is about to go over to Bombo's tablet and get his red mail.
So there's one of our other dungeon items.
Indeed.
Oh, and there's the cape in the pod basement.
Well, how about that? So we are Ice Rod from Go mode. You made me pick a troll item and see what happens.
I should have kept my mouth shut. Or maybe I should have chosen Ice Rod because my choice was one of the first checks.
Half magic is nice there.
And the boots. We are now in Go mode, aren't we? Well, we're in no
we're
mode.
in Ice Rod mode.
Oh gosh, yes. You just mentioned we're in Ice Rod mode. And EmoSaru does have an item.
Yeah, that compass was not what we wanted to see in the big chest, and EmoSaru is going to risk that item on Helma not being important because she figures, well, I just got a mother load in there.
No, go with what you know. You know where that cane is, and you know you can now beat Desert Palace.
So it turns out Pendant Pod was the right play. Right, and then maybe you get really lucky and the Ice Rod's on the right side of Desert, and if it's not, the question becomes, do you hope that the Ice Rod is in its fairly usual hiding place of Laser Bridge?
Oh, I don't see why not. There's another 5 items up there. It has just as much a chance of being up there as anything else. Actually, Ema was about to take off from the bumper ledge. She turned around and turned right back towards it. I don't think she had checked this area before.
No, I think Trinexx was the one who checked it. So presumably she'll check Graveyard Ledge now while she's up here, and she can even do Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb now that she has the boots.
Yeah, this turned out to be really good routing on her side.
And with Trinexx about to get these important items out of Pod, it's just going to become a race to who can find the Ice Rod. Actually, EmoSaru could even just continue straight across and do Catfish and Zora.
Yep, do Catfish, mirror over to Zora.
Both of which are preferable to diving Pendant Ice or going into Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod.
Alright, so these checks in the northern area of the map, just so far a Fire Shield and a big 20 on the Graveyard Ledge. King's Tomb is next up.
Nothing doing there. Ooh, Trinexx is trying the Hammer Yump. Interesting. Nope. Did he give... No, looks like he's still going to try it. And he makes it.
Yeah, he just wanted to get that bomb across the gap so he could head right through and not have to wait. But really good hammer yump there.
And he gets his boots all the sooner.
Okay, we got a pair of grumpy fish coming up. Not even waiting around for it to land.
Why bother?
Why bother?
So after this, Ice Cave and Spike Cave are our only remaining overworld checks, right?
I think so. Chat also mentioning the ether tablet.
Oh, right. Thank you, chat. Well, can certainly do ether tablet and spike cave in the same trip. What will EmoSaru do now? Flute to 6, flute to 8.
So likely going to finish desert.
Yeah, I was going to say she's going to hopefully show us what's on that right side of desert. Trinexx getting the news about the pedestal. Yeah, the fact that she's gone in here first means she plans to do the right side of desert before she finishes off Landmo. Which seems slightly odd to me just because you're going to have to do Landmo anyway, and if he happens to have the second item, then you don't need to go to this side.
That's right, she did check the big chest. But she knows that there's both items.
And Trinexx is getting murder-dactyled as he tries to get into Bumper Cave. Good thing he had that red mail.
Now I'm trying to think, what has one done that the other hasn't? Obviously, Emo hasn't done Landmo and then the subsequent Pyramid Fairy check. But is there anything that Trinexx has not done that Emo has done?
Well, he hasn't done
Catfish
Caprice
or
Resort or, Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, Graveyard Ledge.
Okay, so these runners are still pretty close. Trinexx is going to do the route you just mentioned here.
And Trinexx never did do Spiral Cave.
No, even on his second trip up there, he didn't do it. There's the 6th crystal. It's just a hunt for both of these runners. Whoever's going to get the ice rod first.
So Emo only has Pyramid Fairy and Ice Rod Cave as the only places not on Death Mountain that she hasn't checked, apart from Ice Palace, which I'm sure neither of these runners wants to go into.
No, it's probably one of the slowest dungeons to get, the first 2 items.
And it's locking 4 items total if we include the green pendant.
So Trinexx back up on the mountain, and he's got the 2 checks he can do. He can do Ether Tablet. Oh, he's got 3, really. Ether Tablet, Spike Cave, and Spiral, which he had skipped earlier.
The problem is it's hard to route in Spiral and Spike on the same trip. He might just be going straight into TR.
You're gonna have to make some gambles if you want to win, and this is certainly a gamble. Still a lot of items out there. There's several in Ice Palace, Mire, and even some in the overworld that nobody's checked.
So, Emo's doing Ice Cave now, and that is going to absolutely clear out the lower overworld for her. If it's a vanilla Ice Rod, Trinexx is in a bit of trouble. But it is not.
I don't think I've seen a vanilla Ice Rod since I've played vanilla, to be honest.
I may have once seen a vanilla Ice Rod here.
So fortunate for Trinexx on that, not so fortunate for EmoSaru.
And it looks like she too is not going to bother with these Death Mountain overworld checks. I guess it kind of makes sense. If you're doing the Death Mountain climb anyway, you might as well hope the Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock and save yourself the time of the other checks. Of course, what's going to happen at this point is that the Ice Rod will be on, I don't know, Helmasaur.
Oh, please.
Emo is doing the last overworld checks.
Please, it's not going to be on Helmasaur, it's going to be on Green Pendant.
No, she changed her mind. Huh. Unfortunately, being indecisive like that costs a bit of time. Oh, chat telling us that she had been dead-rocked.
Ooh, takes an
Ooh.
unfortunate fall.
Yeah, if Ice Rod winds up being in here, it's Trinexx's game to lose at this point.
Yeah, after that point, it comes down to routing in GT and execution on the gauntlet. But it may be here, and could very well be this dungeons. They could go to dungeons.
Keep it up that
All that's left here is a laser bridge.
By the way, while we have this lull, this is a good time to remind you, please do follow these runners. Anyone who's made it to this point in the tournament is a really good ALTTPR runner. And yeah, you should check out, and EmoSaru's even developed some of her own trackers.
Yeah, very popular tracker, the Emo tracker.
Trinexx has found the useless Ether Medallion on Laser Bridge, as well as the fairly useless Riot Shield. And
without an ice rod.
That is it for Turtle Rock.
So you have a few choices. All three of them are bad. So you got Death Mountain first. You got the Ether Tablet and Spike Cave. You've got a couple of pendant dungeons you haven't touched. And then you have EmoSaru, which you can go to very quickly if you're emo. No, actually, Trinexx did that also.
Oh, I totally forgot about Mire. We've been focusing so much on Ice Cave, but there are 2 items in Mire.
So while he's up here, Trinexx is going to check out Ether Tablet and Spike Cave. He did save his portal outside of the safety door, so this is a good thing for him to do. But an unfortunate dead rock just parks himself right across the bridge.
So Emo's about to get the bad news.
Yeah, Trinexx does have a couple more overworld checks to do. He had not done Spiral Cave, which he's completing now, and he has not done the Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, and Emo gets dead rocked again. Oh, is Trinexx going straight for ice?
It looks like it.
Let's see.
Well, we're in an Ice Rod hunt. What better place to go than an Ice Palace?
Which means it's probably in Mire. Okay, so it is either in Spike Cave or in a pendant dungeon. I can't believe we have done literally every overworld check.
And it's not in the overworld.
So if you're Emo, which one do you do?
Which one
Mire
do we
you
have
could-
access to for longer? kind of had access to both about the same time, so ice and mire. But it looks like she's going to do ice.
Yeah, because I think the mitts was the last item we needed for both of them, so we got access to both simultaneously.
Right.
See, I would probably do mire and hope the two items come up quickly. You can get totally screwed if they don't, but...
Right. When you're in an ice rod hunt, you can get screwed either way. That's why I was trying to see, is there a way to almost read the seed? Which one would maybe make a little bit more sense just based on what items we previously got?
Which means it's probably on EmoSaru.
Oh no. Trinexx headed straight to the right. He did not go to the freezer room. So we'll see a few checks here. He's got 3 chests on this side.
There it is. And at 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 28 seconds, Trinexx is in go mode. And he is actually death warping to save his portal on Death Mountain. Whereas EmoSaru, by saving and quitting, has already lost hers.
Ooh, that's right, she did save and quit. Because she went into Spike Cave and didn't come out the other side. She saved and quit. So,
Right.
Yeah, so he can go right back up and down into his portal.
So suddenly, this game, which has been tight for quite a while, Trinexx probably has his biggest lead of the game. Just to answer chat, your portal goes away when you either save or quit or when you mirror again. Now, if you've beaten Aga, there's no way to get back to the light world without mirroring, so in the vanilla game this would never come up.
Yeah, this is only one of those consequences of Randomizer having some situations you'll never have in vanilla.
Emo, I guess, forgot that she doesn't have any keys. So Trinexx is on to, well, Trinexx. Which means it is very nearly, at long last, time for the big key guessing game, but wait until that crystal drops.
Emo is just a few seconds from getting her ice rod as well.
So she hits go mode almost 2.5 minutes after Trinexx, but as I said, she'll lose a bit more time because she doesn't still have her portal, so she'll have to go all the way back through TR. And we missed Trinexx fight with Trinexx, probably because there's some technical problem if you try to put 2 Trinexxes into the same room. But he apparently won it, and now has all 7 crystals.
I love the plural you just used, Trinexxes.
I couldn't resist.
All right, so we don't have much time to get your guesses in chat. He is just a few screens away from Turtle Rock to Ganon's Tower. And once he gets in, the game is closed. There's no bot tonight, but you're still welcome to play along at home.
Or would they be Sextonex at that point?
They might be, but this Trinexx seems to have, a few bodies rather than a few heads. I think it's just a name that sounds kind of cool.
So Trinexx is going left. Wonder if he's going to do Dark Magician or full left. And either way, since he's using an unorthodox routing, he will either extend his lead or Emo could catch up.
Yeah, if he goes full left and it's on the right, this does give Emo a little bit of chance to catch up for sure. But in the first 5, there's nothing.
And he's doing Dark Magician. Which is the only way to do right side early, as it turns out, because there's no key in Hope Room. So this is either going to be Galaxy Brain or quite a bit of a delay. That said, Emo's really lost quite a bit of time by giving up her portal.
Definitely. But when you have checks like across the map and Spike Cave is right there, it's tempting to go right for it.
Oh, definitely. At that point, it just would have been less time to walk back out of Spike Cave than to give up a portal.
So there's 11. Having seen
Or
the
even
4
to commit suicide in Spike Cave, for that matter. You death warp, and it would be the same as saving and quitting, only you don't lose your portal.
Actually, yeah, a death would have been just as acceptable. Would have kept that portal, but that's neither here nor there. As she's about to enter into the Trinexx room.
Meanwhile, what check is Trinexx on? Is that like 12?
Yeah, that's 12. When they do a different strategy than just Hope Room to left side, I get all the numbers thrown off. But that was 12. Very quick, clean Trinexx fight for Emo.
Of course Willard J. Bradley is advocating a tile room gamble. Though that would require Dark Magician strats because there's no key in Hope Room. Oh, no, you can get to tile room without the key, you just need Kane. So yeah, she could do tile room as her third check if she wanted to.
And that makes 17.
But yeah, at this point, even if she just goes full left, Trinexx is still going to be a couple minutes ahead of her. And at this point, there's a 1 in 4 chance of tile room.
Ramos on ice, not playing very well with Trinexx. So that was 20, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Let's see who picked 20 there.
I don't see a 20, but I see a 19 from Razamith.
And I see 21 from Clownboy JJ.
No. Games and Memes did guess 20. Congratulations, Games and Memes.
How about that?
All right, Trinexx fully up in the gauntlet at this point.
Emo's gonna be there soon too, but yeah, it would take something like a couple of Moldorm Falls or Ganon Falls. Very nice Landmo fight.
Missed the quick kill on that second Wizrobe room, but recovers nonetheless.
And Emo gets her big key. But Trinexx is 3 floors ahead of her.
Yeah, and it's not like there's a major difference on equipment, right? If, say, Trinexx had no silvers or, had only the Master Sword, that could give Emo a bit more time to catch up here.
Right, but those 3 swords and 2 bows were all in such straightforward places that it would have been hard not to have gotten them. We'll never know where the butter sword is, though. Not that the butter sword particularly even saves time on Ganon compared to a skilled runner with a bacon sword.
No, not too much of a difference. So gets a double on his first Aga strike.
Another double there.
All right, Trinexx still has to take on this big pig. So we'll see how it ends.
Were people feeling betrayed by the duck or something?
I believe it's a reference to Portal. He calls it a companion duck. Reference to the
Oh.
companion cube. Quickly gets to the third phase. Ganon phasing around the room here.
Stop it, Ganon.
Phasing a little bit too much here.
It's always the fourth hit on phase 3 that takes forever.
Yeah, he won't go peacefully.
Nice double there, but at the expense of the torch glitch. But he gets off another double, and get your GGs in chat for Trinexx.
Trinexx here with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 23 seconds.
And for synchronized boss kills, EmoSaru took down Moldorm 2 at almost exactly the same time.
Emo just as intent on making this a quick fight between her and Naga.
And under the circumstances, maybe we should wait until she finishes. Oh, nope, I guess we have Trinexx in here with us. GG.
GG, guys. Thank you very much. That was a little fun little seed there.
Yeah. What's your count gonna be at? Like 160?
It's a little bit less than that. It's 156 I have on my screen here, so. Otherwise, it wasn't too bad, actually.
Yeah, it was. It seemed like it was gonna be a jet seed from everything you got at the beginning.
Yeah, I think it progressed pretty well, started off there, but it's just once it got down to both Cape and Ice Rod mode, I was kind of unhappy to see the Cape first, but for the most part, there's no other option except to go straight to TR and just kind of work from there.
Yeah. And by the way, EmoSaru has now dropped into Ganon, doing some nice spin attacks, so she should be pretty quick about it. Oh, your Uncle Robin Hood. I haven't seen that one in a while. But yeah, so you took a few more gambles than EmoSaru, and I think that's what ultimately made the difference here.
Yeah, I think this time I skipped a decent amount of the overworld before doing some random dungeon dips. Game 1, I was actually being overly thorough, so I felt now with the game ahead, I can do a little bit more gambles, but even then, it wasn't too much.
Yeah, I was surprised you gambled Desert by stealing the key so early on.
Well, I didn't actually end up using the key. I just kind of just prepared for it because it was not hard boots locked with the big key in the center chest there. The one thing I do regret, though, is I forgot to actually open the big chest, so there's just 2 items in Desert, just never going to go back to.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. It was a hard container and a big 20.
Alright, so.
And meanwhile, EmoSaru is done with phase 3, gets in a hit before the lights go out, and a double even, which I believe was the same thing Trinexx did. But that was a very fast Ganon kill, one of the faster ones I've seen. So get your GGs in chat for Emo as well.
Yeah, Ganon didn't even reset for that from that second warp. So EmoSaru finishes in second place with a time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 32 seconds on SRL. GG.
So just a little over 3 minutes difference for all that, which really isn't much in the grand scheme of things. And it sounds like we have EmoSaru in here with us. GG.
Yo, thanks.
Good game, Emo.
Hey, same to you. Yeah, freaking Ice Rod. But yeah, GG's. That was well done. I on the other hand, unlike Trinexx, I did all the overworld. Literally. Pretty sure there's none left. So.
No, I think
Yes.
you did every check in the overworld, and the only one that Trinexx skipped, I think, was Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah.
It was Ice Rod Cave, and I also had Catfish and Zora were basically my last few ones there. I think some also random one-offs.
Yeah, I mean,
I never did Spike Cave either.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, my thing was basically like there were a few things that I had orphaned for a long time, and I made the choice to go clean them up before I would dive into ice. And I mean, if you add up the time plus losing the portal, I'm sorry, I committed the unacceptable sin of losing the portal. But
Yeah.
but you know, it's I also don't really care. But it's yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things when it comes down to just the ice rod, and it's like, okay, well, all right. I'm just glad neither of us went into mire because that would have sucked.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty bad day, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we had logical access to both of them pretty early, with the exception of like beating mire.
Yeah, I had the same thing in mind, except that just before I got the cane, I actually checked the pedestal just to make sure there's nothing.
I did
stupid happening
too.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, when I went back and did you go back and finish up Skullwoods and check it? Because I had done the front of Skullwoods, and then
I had done all of Skullwoods right on entry. I was able to complete it right then.
So I was able to complete it, but I had like 5 hearts and fighter sword. I was like, I'll come back. I had already gotten 1 item and screw it. But I went and cleaned that up before dipping pod.
Mhm.
I think is when I did that.
Yeah, when you both left Turtle Rock, there were 3 not so great options. You could have dipped either ice or mire, you could have finished the overworld, or you both actually left Helmasaur orphaned, and there was an item on Helmasaur. So we weren't sure which was really the best of those 3.
I
Yeah,
think Helmasaur was never going to happen. Like that was the literal last location. It's just not worth it.
See, I was gonna go to Helmasaur after ice. Mostly because when I went into ice, there was no way I was going to leave it without the green pendant. So pod area was basically the same number of items as mire and faster.
Yeah, so in my case, I still had all of desert to clear out. 4
Oh,
items.
okay. Yeah. But yeah, that was my thought process. That pod was going to be the next thing that I did after ice.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Emo, did you crack 160 because Trinexx said he got 156?
Oh yeah, I'm rolling in at a cool 165.
Oh wow, 9 extra checks. Wow.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's primarily overworld. I would have to imagine, because I think when it came to dungeon, well, and then I think we were talking about it in IRC, and I think no, you did go back for the left side chests, right? Like you went and hit the switch and went back. Okay.
yeah. That was
no, I think it was Desert and Skull Woods were the 2 big differences. That Emo, you full cleared them, and Trinexx. Well, in the case of Skull Woods, you found the second item on Moth, so you didn't need to do any more checks.
Oh yeah, that worked out. Yeah, but no, left side swamp. I went to the back, forgot to hit the switch, and I just like considered bailing, but it's like nah, there'll be like one major quote unquote gamble of just trying to clear that out. But
Yeah.
that was kind of the biggest time loss kind of on my mind of like a really stupid mistake I made.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like, I don't know exactly when you went to pod, but I felt like I got the boots very late relative to when I could have had them.
Yeah,
So-
it was pretty late as well. That was my first pendant after doing all completable crystals.
Yeah, I was basically like at that point when I had gotten that, I was like, I don't know, I feel like I probably lost this already, but apparently not. Apparently it was
You were
later
both
that I
mod
lost
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up being
And
pod, then straight to Kane, straight to TR, and then
Yep.
Yeah, Emo, you were actually ahead of Trinexx and Pod. You got those items sooner, but you still had to go back and finish Desert, so you were effectively even after that.
Yeah. After I got the cane, rather than immediately bailing up to TR, I went and decided to, because I was kind of in cleanup mode, like a little bit scared of what was going to happen up there. And so that's when I went and finished up the boot stuff, did Graveyard Ledge, and then went to Catfish and Zora to clear that out. And then I had it up, so.
Yeah, I think we did about the same thing, except I stopped at Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah. Yeah, which makes sense. Like, I mean, it was one of those things where I was like, God, I don't know. Like, I feel like
and the
that stuff
run,
early.
Any one of those stupid decisions would have been it, and that's just like,
oh yeah,
how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really good game. So seriously, GG.
Yeah, good to you.
Yeah, anytime it's within, I don't know, what was it, like 3.5 minutes or something like that. Oh, not even 3 minutes. I mean, when it comes down to an ice rod and it's within 3 minutes, like, shoot, like that was a good race.
Yeah, anything could have happened when you're searching for that ice rod. Both of you put on a really good show.
Yeah, and there's still next week now.
Yeah.
Since this is it for both of you this week.
I have to follow up to see who I'm playing or whether the series are done yet.
Well, you two are in Group W, and it looks like Julo Ninja and Chelsea X Lin are tied up at 1. So their next match is not until Saturday evening. Both of you get a couple of days off to just relax a little bit.
Oh, I know what I'm watching.
Yeah, right. That'll tell each of you who you're facing next week.
Yep.
Oh, the most important question though, and the true winner: who left Escape first?
That is a good question. I was going to ask that actually, because we had that discussion at the end of our last seed. So I don't know.
I don't even remember. It was within seconds.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the VOD.
Well, that was the whole point.
Guess what I'm gonna do right now. I'm going to find the answer to the question.
This is the moral victory right here.
Yeah, this is for all the marbles, really. Let's see.
Because you were both able to snag a bomb and do the back of Escape.
Yeah, which was good. I was not unstressed about that.
Yeah, it was the small magic prize pack, and it was like the one bomb was buried like 6 in, so you had to kind of keep shooting arrows at everything I could shoot.
Yeah, and it seemed like the guards were on the no prize pack.
Yeah, which was unfortunate because I killed a bunch of them.
I think it was until I got the snake.
Now, was that the whole reason for choosing standard in the first place? Was to have a mini competition within the competition?
No, the reason for choosing standard was because I got hecked up real bad by Escape in our first race, and I said heck Escape and chose standard. The who could actually get through Escape and pump faster question was just a fun fringe benefit of choosing the mode.
Although your unofficial time is a 127, is it?
No, I don't quite have a 127. I have a 128.16 right now.
Okay.
I got one PB at GDQ that I couldn't submit, and then I got another one where my VOD got corrupted, and so it was fantastic.
I think on the leaderboard, I'm technically 1 ahead of you, but
nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of long seeds this tournament, I've noticed overall.
Wow, yeah, this Escape really is very close. This is pretty awesome, actually.
It's a photo finish.
Yeah, honestly, it could have just been like who got bombs first. I'm not quite all the way through it. I think you got a bomb before I did, actually.
Yes, I remember that.
But then I got one with a quick shot, and now we're literally like single-digit seconds apart. This is fantastic. This is the most glorious thing I've ever seen.
I don't have to undone and forfeit again.
Yeah, it's only fair. Yeah, no, this is pretty great. I'm gonna get to the end of it here. So close to the end.
They were my Trinexx fight because there was a stream issue. Is there like a 1 Trinexx per screen rule, and that's why we weren't able to see it?
I forgot about that. Yeah, no, I just had some random disconnections about. It happens right around midnight every time. So I got the VOD. I'll have to load that afterwards, but it wasn't just meant to be a censorship.
Okay, so it was literally a like a 5-second difference in escape, but I did win.
Okay, so well,
There you go, the moral victory.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm just gonna have that to comfort me at night. But yeah, seriously, GG Trinexx. That was that was really good. And good luck with your next round. I'm very interested to see whether Chelsea and I get to have our meme off next week or the week after. But it's gonna be fun one way or another.
All right, well, thank you guys for the commentary and restream here. So,
yep. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, GG's to both of you.
GG and good night. So, Jossie, I think that might do it for us as well. If anyone else still is not done with the Link to the Past Randomizer, there is another match happening on Speed Gaming 3, Relkin versus Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. So go check them out. And that will be the last match for the night. Randomizer tournament will kick back off at about 2:30 p.m. Delane versus This Is Not Yoho.
And then, of course, we have a full weekend of all of these groups wrapping up, and it should be interesting, especially because we'll start to get some Game 3s into the mix over the next few days. You know, the winner take all of who gets to be in the winner's bracket and who gets to be in the loser's bracket next week. So, yeah, and do follow all the Speed Gaming channels. We've mostly been broadcasting on there so far, Speed Gaming 1 through 6. But we also do try to put a few matches on the ALTTP Randomizer channels, 1 through 5, so please follow that family of networks as well. And of course, the runners again, who, you know, really had a good race today, and I'm sorry I cursed them with saying the ice rod would be the troll location, but they handled it well.
Yeah, somehow I don't think it was quite your fault, but they did handle it very well. And thank you, Jossie, for co-commentating with me. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise, it was fun working with you again.
All right.
And, oh, right, thanks to our tracker again, Link Force Zero, who was really on top of the tracking today.
I think that takes care of it.
Yeah, so have a good night, and we'll see you in the weekend matches.
Good night. Good night, everybody.